Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Solstice Gateway Summit Insights and Inspiration for 2026. I am Jill M. Jackson, and I am beyond and over the moon excited to welcome my colleague and friend, Allison Hayes, also known as the Rock Girl, to the Solstice Summit. We are going to talk about Allison's extensive bio first. Allison empowers audiences through ancient wisdom, grounded insight, and soul level activation. She is known as the Rock Girl. She is an internationally acclaimed metaphysical teacher, master healer, professional psychic, transformational speaker, and founder of the Rock Girl Sacred Stone School. Through her years of deep connection to Mother Earth, and lifelong studies that actually earned her a PhD in metaphysics, Allison has cultivated an unparalleled ability to decode the messages held deep within the stones. Her precision in working with these sacred allies earned her the name the Rock Girl, a title that reflects not only her connection to stones, but also her grounded, no-nonsense approach to spiritual transformation. Allison is also the founder of the Rock Girl Academy of Advanced Metaphysics and Spirituality and has been teaching in Japan for the past 15 years. As a master energy practitioner, Allison has combined the powerful energies of stone and spirit for soul awakening work and teaches graduate programs in psychic healing, past lives, angels, crystal skulls, animal communication, Lemurian lightworking, and spiritual leadership. She is based in the incredible sacred mountains of Asheville, North Carolina, and is internationally respected as a retreat leader, known for guiding others through soul-aligned journeys of healing, activation, and remembrance. Whether she's teaching advanced metaphysical students, offering powerful one-on-one rock readings, or speaking on the spiritual stage, Allison transmits timeless knowledge with authenticity, clarity, and passion. Allison's life work is to honor the divine that dwells within all beings and to help others awaken their own spiritual gifts through the sacred teachings of Mother Earth. Wow, that is quite a bio, Allison.
Thank you, Jill. I was thinking, gosh, I'm old.
No, you're wise. There is a difference, my friend. There is a difference. I am just so excited to have you as one of the expert speakers. And for those people who are maybe just getting to know you for the first time, can you talk a few minutes about what led you to step fully into serving spirit?
Yes, absolutely. Sure, as you know, and you probably also grew up as a psychic child and really didn't know that, right? So I grew up in a rural area of Pennsylvania. Not a lot of people, so I spent a lot of time in the forest with animals. I was really fortunate to go to a friend's school, a Quaker school that allowed us to have classrooms outside. And I just started to commune with nature and spirit. It was just so natural for me. And then I went through, during my teens, my father died and my family kind of broke apart, and there was just so much pain and suffering. And then it was back in the 80s, I think. Yeah, it was in the late 70s and the 80s when all of this self-help stuff came out. So I started to study that, thinking, oh gosh, there's something wrong with me. I'm broken. And how can I heal myself? And so as I started to heal myself, other people said, hey, what are you doing? And then I realized, I kept taking more and more healing classes, psychic classes, stone classes. I devoured it. And I thought, this is where I want to be. Then I graduated high school, wanted to go to college, went to college, wanted to get a real job. And then every single real job didn't work out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I ended up going to New York City. And I had this really cool job in this film company, and we did a lot of like music videos, feature films, commercials. And I started doing my rock readings for all the actors and actresses that came through. And they said, why aren't you doing this all the time? And I thought, I don't know. So that was kind of the light bulb that went off. And then what really kind of sealed the deal is I got married and then I ended up getting divorced. And I thought, okay, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? And then, much like I'm sure what happened to you, is Spirit just opened up opportunities. I took them and here I am.
And here you are. And isn't it correct that you were doing a form of rock readings in elementary school,
Yeah.
Allison?
Yes. Oh my gosh, this is a great story. So, when I was a really quiet and shy child, believe it or not, until I got to be in like fourth or fifth grade. And then I just started like popping off with these, blurting out these things. One of the kids that I sat next to, their parents, his parents were going to have a baby, but didn't tell him yet. And I'm like, oh, so your sister is going to be born in May. Aren't you excited? And he was like, what? And then he went home and told his parents, or I'd tell someone that, they really should try out for field hockey instead of soccer. And so I ended up getting in trouble for blurting out all of these, I guess, psychic messages. I was young. I couldn't control them. I didn't know where they were coming from. So then I got a box of rocks in seventh grade, all those tiny little rocks that we had in the science class.
Yes.
And they were my friends, so I carried them around and they came loose. They weren't glued anymore. And so I thought, you know what? Maybe the rocks can tell them the story instead of me, and I won't get in trouble, because I was getting put in detention. I was being suspended for blurting off this information because I had no idea how to control it. And I know you do all sorts of books for psychic children. So I
Yes.
could have really used you back then. And so I was known in seventh grade, I got nicknamed the Rock Girl. And then students started coming to me, my friends, is Andrew going to ask me to the dance? I'm going to get an A on the test. And so I would say, okay, pick a rock. So they would pick a rock. And then all of a sudden the rocks started giving me more messages. And so that is why everybody called me the Rock Girl. And I have this strong connection with the rocks supporting my psychic abilities. And so when I was younger, like 6, 7, walking in the woods, I always heard the rocks speak in the trees. And I thought that was very normal. But when they started helping me with my psychic readings, they were really my teachers. They taught me boundaries, they taught me details. So that's how I got the name the Rock Girl. And then when I started going into high school and college, everybody was like, ooh, she's weird. So then I kind of kept the rocks to myself. And then it wasn't until I worked for the film company that all of these celebrities thought it was really cool. So that's when I
Yes.
really kind of launched into that. And that was in my 20s.
Yeah, came out of the psychic closet, as I
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Literally. That's where my office was. It was in a closet, literally. And they would line up to come and sit in my closet.
Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. Now, you are as passionate as I am about education. You have actually a PhD in metaphysics from your own training over the years. For those retreat participants who are wanting to tap into their own intuition, and we understand it's a lifelong process and progress, correct? But could you sum up what you would recommend as the first steps would be, Allison?
As far as connecting to their intuition, is that the question?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, real simple. We're all born with our intuition. And the way that I like to teach it is one side of our brain is logic and intellect, and the other side is intuition. And so we have to have them work together and be friends. And when we're born, we have intuition, we have imagination, we have imaginary friends, we're very connected. And then we go to school to develop the logical side. And then what happens is throughout the years, we're conditioned, boom, 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 to have the logic overtalk the intuition. And so, what I would suggest for anybody who's just wanting to reconnect to what they were born with is to listen to their intuition and have their logic or their intellect carry it out. And so, a lot of people say, which one comes first? The intuition. It begins with the letter I, root word into. That's how we get our information. We bring it into us from spirit. So when we get that information into us, that's when the intellect carries it out. So the intellect is I, root word Intel. So it tells our logic what to do. So the intuition brings the information into us from the higher realms, and our intellect, our logic, tells us what to do with it. And so if people can know that we have those two kind of energies and they shouldn't be fighting, they should be working together, that's the first step. And then the last thing that I quickly want to say is that everybody say, how can I tell the difference? How can I tell the difference? What is my intuition? What is my logic? Intuition speaks like a GPS. Sound bites. Go left, go right, recalculate, take the job, don't take the job, go out with this person, don't marry them. So when you hear the sound bites, that's your intuition. Logic is run on sentence. Oh, he's a really nice guy, and I really should go out with him because he makes a lot of money and he'll be a really good father. And this is why I need to go out with him, even though I'm not in love with him. Anytime you have a conversation like that, intellect, logic. Go with your intuition first, trust it, and then ask your intellect to carry it out.
That's brilliant. That is brilliant, Allison.
Thank you.
For
And you know
that.
what, Jill, we're all born with this. We just have to kind of
Yes.
separate it. And I always tell my students, well, I've taught in Japan for 15 years in another language. All right.
Wow.
So, with that said, just trust your intuition. We're born with it. You don't have to, you know, develop it or dig it out. You just have to validate it, be aware, and listen to it, and have your intellect and your intuition be friends. That's what they're
Yes.
for.
That's the key, to listen. I love all of that advice. Thank you for sharing that. And those are tools that everybody can use. Now, I want to switch directions and talk about the solstice. We love the solstice. Can you share with everyone how you celebrate the solstice and maybe some tools for them to tap into the energy of the solstice?
Yes, and I warned you I was going to get teary-eyed during this interview.
Oh,
When you bring up the solstice, I am so filled with emotion. And I really believe that I'm connecting to the emotion of the earth. And the solstice, as we all know, is the darkest day of the year and then the beginning of the longest. You know, we go toward the light. And I have always been connected to the solstice. That's my favorite day of the year. I love the winter, and then I also love the summer. And so the solstice, this winter solstice, is all about rebirth. And you know what, Jill? I used to hate winter. I used to hate the cold. And then I realized that that's when the earth goes and it kind of starts to renew itself. And I thought, you know what? Let me try that too. And so what I do usually with the solstice is I go out and I connect to nature. And if you're out in a beautiful rural area, you can do this. But also, I used to live in New York City for years. I used to go in Central Park and just sit there either early in the morning or in the evening and just feel. And I think that's the biggest message that I want to share with everyone, is just to feel the energy of the earth, of the trees, of the moonlight. And again, I would take just quiet time. And even if it's only 15 minutes, even if it's only 20 minutes, even if it's only 5 minutes, I would sit quietly next to a tree on a bench in Central Park, and I would watch the squirrels and the leaves, the lake, and just take a moment to feel that energy and to connect to that energy. And then I would consciously kind of let the previous year go, and then I would just open my heart to the new year. And nature is so powerful. And we just have to be aware that as sentient spiritual beings, that we can open our hearts to that and bring it into our physical world. So I hope that answers the question.
yes, that's beautiful. And I love how you said opening our heart to nature, because it is all energy. And we get so programmed to pay attention to our devices all the time or get on this loop of this rat race. And when we can just take these times to integrate our own frequency and energy with Mother Nature, it's profound, isn't it? It's
It
amazing.
is. And what people don't realize is that you don't have to go on a week-long hiking trip. You don't have to stay outside for an hour. If you go out with the intention and the open heart to just let it in, it fills you up really fast.
Yes, it does. Thank you for those tips for the solstice. Now, everyone is so excited about 2026. And part of this Solstice Summit Gateway event is all of us tuning into what we see with the energy of 2026. So, can you give some insight into what your guides have shown you with this energy?
Yes, absolutely. I really don't pay attention to the year of the snake or the horse or the monkey. I'm really into rocks, but this year it has caught my attention. And 2025 is the year of the snake, where we are shedding things. And I don't know about I do know about everybody else. Energetically, collectively, I've felt a lot of people shedding their old ways. And 2025 is a 9 year, which is an ending. And a snake sheds its skin and it leaves it behind and it's brand new. And so right now is a great time to pay attention to that, because just, where your attention goes, the energy flows. And just to bring your awareness to something really shifts your frequency. And so as we go into the year of the horse, and this is the Chinese zodiac, if anybody wants to look it up, I know I was born in the year of the horse. I know you were born in the year of the horse. And the horse is strong, and it leaps ahead, it gallops, it charges forth. Horses have so much strength and courage and the ability to propel us forward. And so that is the energy that is really taking hold of us in 2026. And I do believe that the year of the horse starts in February. So we have the solstice to kind of prepare ourselves energetically. But look out, fasten your seatbelt, because we are all going to connect to that energy and catapult forward. And I have horses and I love them and I trust them. And a lot of times I may not know what's going on, but I look to my horses to tell me. And that's a big thing about trust. And so for all of us who have let things go in 2025 and are going forth into 2026 and we don't know where we're going, trust the horse. The horse energy is going to take us. And again, the horse energy is connected to Pegasus, right? The myth of Pegasus, take flight, all of that. And so the energy is get ready to go forward, trust, and be like the horse, be courageous, have that strength, have that integrity. And, I'm sure everybody who's watching this summit, they're here because they're givers. They give, they give, they give, they give. And I want to remind everybody to just think about giving back to themselves as well. And I have to do this. Give yourself permission to give back to yourself this year. It doesn't mean you can't give to others, but also remember yourself and get on the back of that horse. I'm emotional. And go.
Oh,
Be free.
Oh, that's beautiful, Allison. Now you're getting me
Sorry.
emotional. Wow. Yeah, just connected to that. And there's so much with this Pegasus. And also, I love your message about giving to ourselves and not feeling that it's selfish. And it's actually what I talked about at the beginning of the summit in the welcome video, is that each person who said yes to the summit, who said, I want to be part of this, energetically, that was a gift that they were giving themselves. And each speaker who said yes was also giving the energy of themselves. But it's such a reciprocal energy that goes from each one of us and then ripples out to the collective as well, right?
Absolutely. And I know I've had a snake year where I've shed everything. A lot of people will know me. I had long hair. Well, during the year of the snake, I put my hair in pigtails and I cut it off. It had to go. Hair contains energy and old, information. And it was just like whack. I just gone.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that was the beginning of my year of the snake. But it is so important to give back to yourself, because if we don't keep ourselves strong, we can't be there for other people.
Absolutely. And I want to circle around, Allison, and talk about the fact that we cannot make it up that you were drawn for probably the first time ever to the Chinese connection with the horse and the snake and all of that, because like you said, it's not your field, it's not your genre, but spirit led you to the energy of the horse in 2026, and you can't make it up because of your personal connection to horses. Can you talk a couple of minutes about your Sacred Steed program with the horses that you
Yes.
just created to be new in the year of the one?
Yes, isn't that crazy how everything aligns? Yes, and so I do horse rescue, and I rescued my first horse, Thunder, back in 2014, and then I've kind of two other horses found me along the way, so I have three. And if anybody knows me, threes are big in my life. And again, I was telling you I had a heck of a year, and my horses have really saved my soul when I thought, oh gosh, how can I kind of find the energy today? And so you have met my horses, and you know that they have messages. My horses are rescues. You can't really ride them anymore, but they're there to teach, and they're also there to heal. And being in the auric field, the energy field of a horse's energy field is 25 feet around it. And so just by being there, it changes your frequency and it helps you heal. And horses have the same frequency as angels do, except they're here in the earthly plane. And so, yes. And so energetically, they're here to heal you. They're here to heal you. They are here to heal you on a physical level, on an emotional, mental, and a spiritual level. And they are here to share their souls with you. Ugh. And they have such a big heart, and they're so loving, and they're so trusting. And yes, my Sacred Steed program is open to visitors who want to come and walk through this energy with them, whether it's grooming them, speaking to them, just loving on them. And then I have certain exercises where certain horses come up to you and offer the healing energy that you need, which is amazing. Each one has their own specialty. So yes, come on down and meet my horses.
Yes, and in beautiful Asheville, North Carolina. And I'm getting emotional too again because I'm connected to the few times I've been honored to be in your horse's presence. But you know what I find so beautiful, Allison, is how they bear witness to what each person needs, and then vice versa as well. And I was not aware that they had the same frequency as animals, but it makes complete sense when you think about it.
Yes, yes. So they're really angels on the earthly plane. And if you go back into history, we have Pegasus with the wings. You also have the unicorns, and their horn comes out of their third eye. They're so intuitive. And horses have a very big high heart chakra. A lot of us humans haven't activated ours yet, but just by being in the presence, the purity of their energy can stimulate and activate your high heart chakra, which for a lot of human beings have been dormant since the ancient Egyptian etheric times. So,
Oh, wow. That's
yeah.
huge. Now, switching directions, you brought a gift for each retreat participant. Can you talk a few minutes about what your gift is?
Yes, I'm so excited. Yes. So everybody knows I'm the rock girl, and I work with rocks. And so I put together an audio tape on the rocks for this solstice. And so in this audio tape, I go through what the rocks are, how they're born, how they're made, and how to work with them in order to really go in and connect to this beautiful, powerful solstice energy. And it's not only going to help you on the solstice, it's going to help you throughout the rest of the year.
Beautiful. That's exciting. I cannot wait to listen to that one myself. Now, how can people get in touch with you, Allison? What's the best way to connect with you?
Okay, well, the best way you can find me on my website, which is www.therockgirl.com. You can also find me on Facebook, Allison Hayes. I like to post happy things. It's a very happy page, animals, inspirations, things like that. And so that's probably the best way to reach me right now. And obviously my newsletter. And I am kind of re-entering the US from Japan. I used to spend 6 months a year there. And so I'm going to be here more in the US. And I'm also located in Asheville, North Carolina, and I do retreats and all of that. And so people can either email me through my website or reach me on Facebook or come to Asheville.
Beautiful. That's awesome. Now, what would be your final words of wisdom that you could offer to the solstice retreat participants, Allison?
Okay, that's a great question. As we approach the solstice, open your heart, connect to nature like we talked about, and just be willing and ready to welcome in transformation and really let the energy guide you. I know that all of us are kind of intellectual human beings and we have all these plans for ourselves in the new year, right?
Yeah.
But really just spend just 5 minutes being open. But the most important is to connect to that nature and connect to nature, connect to spirit, and just trust them, surrender, trust them. And I'm going through this. I know a lot of other people are going through this. We're leaving things behind. Don't be afraid. Easier said than done.
Yes.
But really be open to all possibilities and realize that this coming year is going to, the universe has bigger plans for you. So be open to them, be open to opportunities, and be open to thinking outside the box. And so I know I am. So we'll see that where that.
I got chills when you just said the word be open to being and speaking outside the box, and also going back to the energy of transformation, because you hit on it that many times the universe has even more exciting plans for us than our logical minds can even process in that moment. So that is wonderful advice. And like you said, easier said than done. The ego comes in and it starts the dialogue, right? The false narratives. However, if we can remember your words of wisdom to flow with the energy of transformation and trust, I feel like people are going to really be pleasantly surprised with what this next year brings them. Don't you agree?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that this summit that you're creating is so important, not only to bring in awareness and enlightenment, but energetically, it's going to give them a real push energetically ahead into the new year. And I'm a big believer in collective energy. And I know that every single speaker on this summit has something amazing to share, but not only is it information, it's energy. And so after watching all of the speakers, and I say, my advice is to stay open to their energy, because boy, you're going to end up with a really great, wonderful collective energy that you couldn't get anywhere else. And I am in awe of this summit because I feel what it's going to do for all of us. So thank you, Jill. Thank you.
Oh, now you're going to make me emotional, Allison. And because it's so true, and we understand the quantum physics and the quantum entanglement of energy, and just us each gathering together for something as powerful and sacred as this solstice of 2025 is truly transformational. And like I said in the welcome video, each person who said, yes, I want to participate, I want to experience each speaker, it has been proven that there is healing in even the vibration of words.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes. And so just that energy and the vibration of the words shifts up energy and allows the final energy of the snake as we end the year and go through the solstice and prepare for, as you talked about, the energy of the horse. It's just all so beautiful.
Yes. And we're doing it together. So there's a level of connection and support that we wouldn't get if we were isolated. So thank you again for bringing us all together.
Oh, thank you so much, Allison. And I'm just so excited and honored. I know that you travel so much internationally, and I was so happy when you said yes to join us for this summit. And thank you for bringing your beautiful energy, your wisdom, and namaste to everybody that is tuning in. And we send you love, so much love, and so many blessings. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Jill. Thank you so much.